Hello again, it's Harry here, your geriatric nurse from Toronto, Canada, back from my humble contribution for the care for the older adults and their caregivers. Should an older adult be in a retirement home or a nursing home? This is a very big question and one that's not always easy to answer. First and foremost, you'd like to know where the older adult would like to be or would like to have been if they were able to properly decide for themselves. Okay? That's why it's always important to know these things even long before they would need a retirement home or a nursing home. Both places have their pros and cons. And as I've mentioned before, the mere change in environment is enough to cause a confusion, especially if there is a underlying diagnosis like dementia. That's why you have to be really thoughtful and methodical in doing these things, breaking the news to your loved ones and things like this. And because it's never easy. And brings me to the what I was saying again, that hopefully these conversations would is known to the family by the time the person needs a placement. There are times when the resident is able to recognize the need for a change, and this is always a gift. And I find that they are able to better transition when they have this internal recognition that they need the change. I find that they're able to better cope with the environment change. um, I also get asked, should a family member be there or not be there? So, to that question, I always go back to what familiarity can do to the older adults, which is more often than not something good. But it's case to case basis. You know your loved ones, your resident, your patients best. Always decide with the care team that they are with. Always involve your primary care providers because they'll be able to guide you. But as a general arching rule, promoting familiarity is something good. Always, as I said, visit in collaboration with the care team so that maybe you can promote familiarity while not being a trigger. Because sometimes if you leave, say goodbye, that may be a potential trigger. And so that maybe having a plan with the care team will be something beneficial in cases like that. Want to make sure you are exhausting your non-pharmacological interventions. But there are times when pharmacological interventions are needed, and if so, it's always good to optimize the pharmacological help that you are imploring, which means least amount, least side effects, and having interventions for these things. But even better if you won't need them. The time of diagnosis, advanced care planning would be very beneficial. Because then it gives the person the advantage to plan ahead so that we could ensure to the best of our ability to promote and reinforce what is important, what was important to the person. A retirement home can offer no help at all. It's like renting an apartment, and then they are able to provide cleaning, laundry, food, things like this, which is very good. And they also have a nurse and PSWs and a doctor on staff, so that brings a very good care team behind you. In a nursing home, they're able to provide more nursing care, more PSW services, and they're also they're better equipped in meeting nursing medical needs of the resident. Usually, there is a long wait list especially for long-term care homes. And for retirement homes, the disadvantage there more often than not is the cost that they charge, especially if depending on the care levels that the older adult has. All of these things, of course, needs to be tailored to what the person needs at any given time. As I said, there's always something that could be done at any given time, right? It depends on what the resources are, what the current needs are, and things like this. But planning ahead is really good. So if there is a long wait list, some more often than not, it's good to have them on the wait list while they are in the retirement home, so that you have a plan B in case their care needs increase. Or if you have the opportunity to move right away to a nursing home, that also can have an advantage, because then if they're more cognitive and able to mingle and socialize with the other residents, then they'll hopefully be able to better transition to the nursing home. Same thing with the retirement home. Of course, you want to promote whatever is important to them or was important to them, but unfortunately, there comes a time when the care needs is no longer viable to keep them at home, for example. So at any given time, just try to the best of your ability to keep them where they would want to be. But if that's no longer safe, move on to the next level. Usually here where I am, a retirement home and nursing home is the last step. In any of those settings your loved one would be or your resident is, it's important to promote what is important, what was important to them, by tailoring the environment, fixing it as close as possible to how it was before, bringing in things that were dear to them, are dear to them, and these things will be helpful. Promoting familiarity in that environment would be very helpful. So it's not easy, but you're not alone, and there always can be interventions that can be put in place. Also, there are specialized services out there who can amplify the capacity of the retirement home or the nursing homes they're gonna be moving into. Do not be afraid, keep on smiling, and try to promote at any given time what is important to your loved ones, the residents you care for, patients you care for. Take care, and until next time.